Well, tonight is day 158 of running my deuce. We are 76 days till deadline to be at the show. And I went and asked Google AI, and I asked, how many weeks till my deadline? 11 weeks and 5 days. Well, now it's 2 days. So 11 weeks and 2 days to be at the show. That's a whole new perspective here. So 11 more weekends. So yeah, it's coming up close. And I don't want to be still working on it till the show. So I really have 9 to 10 weeks that have it ready to go. So say 9 weeks. So it's coming up very close of deadline. Solo work on this thing. Dad has finally helped me out on dent repair, and he was still clueless how to do it because it's such thick steel to work with. Yeah, his tools. We have a full tool chest there for proper dent repairs for cars. Yeah, it doesn't work. Ball pen hammers are trick. And a big 5-pound rubber hammer. That's our tools we're using. But yeah. So let's first talk on the motor real quick, get that out of the way. The motor is now running. I'll put a video on my shorts here popping up soon. And now it runs. About 30 seconds, no problem. Did it about 3 different times. First time we did have a fuel leak, which was my return line, number 1 cylinder injector down to the pump, which connects all the other injectors, leaking. I expected it to, but I didn't expect it to happen during testing. So I did buy a new 1/4-inch line. Mike's motor pool, I bought all the fittings. I bought a dozen worth because eventually the rest of them get replaced. This week I'll be doing that because they're so brittle when they work, but I don't want to worry about future breakage. So we fixed that. Fired up, no problem. All of a sudden, oil's pouring out somewhere. You look at the flashlight. Oh, it's the fuel oil filters. The right side one, canister, leaking on the bottom. We make it tighter. It's still leaking. So we pull it apart, made a mess of oil everywhere, lost probably a quart or so. Check the seal, gasket. It's in excellent shape. It's like I installed it. He didn't watch me. He was in the shop at the time. It's installed right. You did it right. Good. Let's just flip the gasket upside down. See if it helps. Put it on, and it worked fine. No more leaks. So, yeah, we fixed the oil leak. We did have to get an electric fuel pump to help prime the fuel injection pump. It just would not pump directly out of a fuel can. We had to assist it. I guess that's why we have an electronic pump on the tank anyway. So anyway, it does work. It fires up. It makes about 80 psi overpressure. So yeah, that's my motor. It runs. So let's go. Rebuild's complete. There's still 3 more things to do. The air compressor needs a belt, which I got in Napa. I cross-referenced it, found a part number that worked. I'm not sure if it works still, but hopefully it fits. $42. There are 6 gaskets missing in my kit. So when you rebuild these motors, I went to Memphis Equipment and bought my rebuild kit. It's like $400 some for the kit. Late model, 1989 is when I found out when my kit was made. And for all the gaskets, as we applied it, we used some kind of red adhesive for the gasket to add extra bonding, make it stronger, so it can't leak on most things. So of its age of gaskets, that helps improve it. So just some notes there. I don't know what this kind of stuff he used, but I know he got it. So Napa sells it for all I know. So get that. When you get a kit from Memphis, open the kit up and verify everything's there. I did, but my first time working on these motors, I don't know what's what. The most obvious thing, head gaskets, they're good shape. But make sure you have manifold gaskets. They were not in the kit, and they should have been. Same as these small gaskets for the manifold to your heads. There's 6 of them for coolant reasons, and you need them before we put coolant through the motor. So those were in the kit too. But Memphis didn't sell those, but the side gaskets they did. So I called them up. They shipped them no charge. So that was nice. But yeah, verify your kit before you use it. So that's the motor stuff. So motors and health. He says delivery. Do you want it next week? Sure, I'll bring it by and install it for you. That's no problem. But the township around here or a county Anything but state roads you can't drive on till May with heavy trucks. His truck is a service truck, just a single axle, dually, full Peterbilt, toolboxes, welder on board, crane, 2-ton crane. That's a service truck. It's heavy. Dad's not worried about it on our driveway, and then the road itself, I'm not too worried, but he is. But he might still push it for the next weekend to deliver it. So yeah. As for cost for my motor rebuild, $800 for a short block, because on the phone talking to this guy, first thing first, Dad knows him from, he does our locomotive rebuilds for the old vintage locomotives. $1,500 for a rebuild. If you provide the parts needed, we're good to go. And we get on the phone talking more and more, and things like, you should buy a short block. Don't use your own motor block, because then I have to pull the crank, pull the pistons, pull this out, and do a full-on block cleaning process and boring, and so much more work ahead of him. Like, for what I need to do, it should only take proper shop, all the stuff in hand, ready to go at once, 10 hours of time. But also, it's multi-fuel, so it's a whole different ball game of like, what is this? It's still simple, but yeah, just say it doubled the cost as expected. So $1,500 he charged me. It actually came to $2,600 in total cost. $100 an hour originally, knocked it down to $80 because he's learning and I'm learning here. So he's learning not to have $20 an hour to help me out, and yeah, so helpful but still expensive. Yeah. So $100 in material, gasket stuff, all other things we needed. I used that as hardware stuff, and then just paying him by the hour what the time and cost came to. So far, he's paid in half. I still owe him $1,200. So I got to pay him the next 2 weeks in full, which is doable. So that's what's for me the hassle with. So that's the motor cost to rebuild. $2,600 of his time. Motor block $800. Gasket kit was $400-ish. Oil pan gasket was separate. Extra oil, had to get that. Had to buy the filter kit. Yeah, that's whatever all that stuff adds up to. I expect to say $3,500-ish range of total cost spent on my motor rebuild. It's still expensive. A lot of guys just say LS it, which I want the torque, not the horsepower, and I like the diesel simplicity. Like, no. You can also just go with a Cummins 5.9. I had the one lined up for a good deal, but transmission and your drive shafts, everything's all custom motor mounts. Like, I don't want that hassle. And based off my last Jeep I worked on, Grandpa says, the more you modify it, the more problems you'll have. And when problems come up, there's no manual. Oh, why is this not working? Because I have an LS to an adapter to a double divorce. Just all DIY. Just leave it factory. There's a reason why it's built that way, and keep it that way. So there's just certain things you can modify. I guess wheels, tires, bumpers, which that's fine, but I don't want to do drivetrain swaps and such so much anymore. So I left it stock. I do want to put a bigger turbo on this thing. HX40, not a 60, but a 40, but not till next winter. But yeah, anyway. So yeah, my motor's done. Now, moving on to this bodywork stuff, update on this stuff. So fenders are done. The back of my seat's done for the passenger side. Ready for paint. The big thing, the back bed is done. Last night, I worked out here from like 7 o'clock at night till 4 in the morning. Mom came out here twice, yelled at me, come in. Nope, I'm going to keep working. I came to the house, showered, and she said to go to sleep. I went to sleep for faking it, just to wake up 10 minutes later, walk out the door, go work on the truck. And no, I knocked myself out, fell asleep hard. I had my lights on still, I had my headphones on to listen to stuff, knocked out, fell asleep. Woke up 5 hours later. It was needed, but I was trying to push myself to get things done, which I did a good job. From this thing fully painted blue floor sides, all in blue. Now it's all in primer. So it's ready for paint for tomorrow. So I did good in one whole night. Not bad progress made. I'm not going to paint the floor in this bed, so it's ready for paint now. I'll paint it tomorrow. But the floor, I'm not going to paint. I would have the show truck, which is a show truck, but I'm going to be hauling mulch in about 2 months from now, I expect, in May. And shovel mulch out for grandma's house. I expect to, yeah, it's a work truck. Simple as that. So why paint it? At Bantam and other shows, I'm going to have my canvas, my bows on. I'm going to put a couch in here for the hell of it, cots and such, and have a rug or a carpet put down to walk on. The last couple of feet, nothing for mud reasons. Yeah, I don't need it. I don't need the floor painted because I'm going to scratch it with a shovel, tractor, pallets, firewood, log. Yeah, I don't need to paint it. It also costs money for wrap coat paint. I only have 1 gallon right now. It's enough for everything here except for the bed. And I'm going to push it to the limit. At least just trying to get the outsides first, then work my way in. If I have extra, then I'll go ahead and paint it. If not, whatever. So that's the bed. Alrighty, next things. First off, the hood. So the hood's in very bad shape. Dad's still saying, repair it. Get a new one. I can't find one. So, yeah, Dad says, get some Tiger Bondo, which I have a quart of, and I just use probably 1/2 of it. And just all the big deep holes, we try to hammer what we could out. This thing is still bowed here, a big crease in here, a crease over there, a crease back here. It's still a bad hood. But at least get the ridges out, so in the way you look at it, yes, there's a big bow in it, but you don't see this massive jagged ridge effect. It's all just smooth. Yeah, I got a dent from some fashion. When you get a dent, it stretches the metal out. And trying to hammer it back, it just keeps the whole effect going. Proper repair is heat it up and work it out. Takes time, takes skill. Like, we don't have that skill. So, do the best you can with a hammer, and then go about with just Bondo. But I don't want Bondo because it's going to crack, because this will flex and break. So we use Tiger Bondo, fiberglass, resin. It's right over here now already. Good. And I just worked it. So trying to fill this area in. Nice and thick right here. Probably 1/8 inch right now. Thick, there's a nice ridge right here. So I'm trying to maintain it. And it comes down, especially kind of bowed inwards like this, a valley. So fill the valley up. So that's good. Same as that side. It'll do. On the back side, you can still kind of see it. The brace comes across. It's bolted right there. It's hard to get in there and hammer. That's why it's bad here and there. So we'll make do. Make it better what it was, but still not the best. The back wall to my hardtop is done. It's ready. There's 4 spots of rust holes. Dad was like, let's get some sheet metal and wad it up, fix it that way. That's fine. But all I have is this sheet metal. Not bad thickness to use. But again, with heat and warping, that hardtop back wall has already been warped already, I could tell. So if I add more heat to it, it's going to warp more and make it even worse. It'll fix the rest, but now it'll be all warped. So that's it. Just patch it up. So I patched up the inside first, and then did the outside with this Tiger fiberglass, and to me it looks good right now. A little bit extra wide in some areas to make sure it doesn't, as I sand it, gets worse. So that should be fixed and curing now. So tomorrow I'll sand it and paint it. The back wall, so the rest of my night after the video is to strip the weight off this hardtop, and then the back of the bed I need to work back here, get the pull off still, and I call it a night after this. But the hardtop, same thing, has a lot of dents. There is no rust, but Dad's still saying, get a new one. Well, they're next to impossible to find. Even soft top ones are hard to find. But the hardtops are more desirable. And this one's just hammered so much, probably from tree branches or something. Super banged up. Did my best to hammer it out. At this point, Dad said stop. So that hole there is because of the bolts that go up in here to hold it down. So that's the reason why there's a hole. But yeah, it's really well hammered up. All these are from hammered down forces somehow. So it's better what it was. It looks horrible, but it's better what it was. So I'm going to skim this with Bondo. Probably fiberglass Bondo for the worst areas like this. But the rest of it, regular Bondo. Again, this is all creased and bowed as well. Heat warped. This is almost 10 foot tall. You're not going to see this area. So I'm not too worried here. But you see this, and you see that on the side of the truck. So I want this stuff to be pretty at least. That whole side is in excellent shape. So we're good over there. So that's what needs worked on. As for the bed and rust, so I have some rust in the bed. Just this spot here and the spot over there. That's it. No other rust on this bed. So excellent shape for being in PA. It can come from Kansas, but I don't really have so much time to worry about rust holes. That's not structured before a show. So I'm going to fix this after Bantam, so after June, when I'm relaxing and done with rushing myself. So then I'll fix it then. So paint over this with green, and then when the showing are done, wire wheel, cut out, patch it, spray can with wrap coat paint, done, fixed. So I'm going to fix that, and that's midsummer. I have 2 weeks off work. Everyone gets shut down. So I'll fix it then. So that's my only repairs I need to do. So that's the plan. Not bad update, not lengthwise. My batteries are charging. I've been sitting for months. I had to put them on a charger. Finally, it's about time. So they're all charged except that small one on the right side. It's starting to go a bit weak. I can tell in the charger, but it's holding charge. But at the beginning, it was having a tough time. So yeah, I think hopefully these will last me this summer. And then probably next spring is my time. Okay, I'm keeping my truck, not going to sell, consignment deal, whatever. I'm keeping it. Okay, buy new batteries, AMGs or something. Super singles, the winch. Yeah, that'll be next year's plan. So, but I do still planning on chopping my truck at some point next year. So from here, cut it. I guess not worried about that too much. Yeah, it's on that side though. So cut it here and move it inwards about 2 feet. So I chop off 2 to 3 feet wide. Mount my super single with a crane going down. Like the 5 tons have a mid-mount crane to lift stuff into the truck bed and your spare tire, and then toolbox storage. So that's the plan. I did remove my shovel and axe carrier that usually mounts on that side of the bed, and that's going to stay off. I'll mount my shovel and axe somewhere else, but I want to add this to be additional storage for jerry cans or toolbox. So that's the plan. Alrighty, so that's my overall update. Motor and truck bed and Bondo work. So it's about 11:30 midnight now. So I'm going to move the hood off to the side so it can dry, not get dust on it. So I'll put it over there for now. And then bring this thing up here and strip the hood down. And then work on the back side of the bed. Get those things in primer. And then put you in Bondo tonight to let you dry as I sleep for once. So yeah, that's the plan. I also did this last night. I got the tailgate off. Every single hinge came off. Nothing's rusted. So that's good. But I actually left the tractor outside, so it's not raining, so it's okay. But the tailgate is off, and the tailgate based off of, you lay on the level ground from edge to edge, it's on the ground. But the metal's up high. We measure it. It's 3 inches bowed on center. The bottom's good, but the upper top lip was pulled outwards. It was pushed inwards 3 inches. So this thing weighs about 1,000 pounds per tire in the back. They're weighted. So we put in the ground, put a block of wood, and just rode back and forth on center to help press that outwards. About 10 times. Dad's guiding me on back and on and off. Keep measuring tape. We took out 2.2 inches of flex. So tailgate's now straight, as much as we can get it. So every time we hopped on the tractor, drove onto it, dropped down maybe 3/16 to a 1/4 inch at a time. It's thick steel. So that's in good shape now. I need to fix that step there, otherwise that's in good shape. So yeah, that's my update on the truck. The frame, yeah, I just need to pull the tank and clean that up, pull the harness off, pull the old fuel line off, the new one's on. Yeah, getting there. So I should have the motor in next weekend, transmission in, clutch on, linkage done, pedals done. What else would I have done? I would have painted, all those done. So my goal is, this will be out of the garage this week, which is good. I'll be done doing Bondo work this weekend, midweek. I don't have college during the week, so I can do some more painting during the week if I have to. Then there'll be no more dust in here. And then it means the wood crate can go out, because I'm done painting. The chassis will come in this bay. I'll have my engine face forward, and we'll just start adding parts back on. Then this bay will be all full of storage of crates. I have all my extra parts, seat cushions, to radiator, to transmission, all that stuff's in crates, stored away, so all full of crates. Oh yeah, mud flaps. So mud flaps are still need to be done. Those can go on when the bed's on, so it'll be another month out. I have decided to paint those green, not black. The bottom of the bed's black. The rest of the truck's green. It's painted black just to keep it hidden, reduce cost, and touch up late in the future is way easier. So that's why it's black. But I asked 2 friends, just like, paint your mud flaps green. And then you're going to have actual rubber mud flaps that hang down low. And of course, they're black in most places. And then I'm going to get some custom mud flaps made. Not custom my world, but there's a shop in town here. My friend owns the business, well, partnership. I don't buy nothing from them. I don't do any service for them at all. No affiliation, nothing. But the bottom of their mud flaps is Wattsburg, PA, where I live. My town, small town. Erie County's the county, but township is Wattsburg. So when I go to shows in Erie, I go to shows in Butler, you see Wattsburg, PA on the bottom. So you all know where I come from. Plus, it's yellow decal, so I'll match all my Navy markings on my truck. So, anyway, that's a long enough update, but it's a very good update. And my voice is about shot. I need to drink a Monster. Myself, update-wise, I'm down 13 pounds in the last 5 weeks. So I've been working out, too. So, making progress. So when I wear my uniform in about 75 days, I'll look a little bit better in shape. So, or have more muscle to move my spare tire if I blow a tire on the highway. But yeah, getting there, a lot better shape. Today is Vietnam Memorial Week Day. Yeah. Anyway, there's my update. So, thanks for watching. So, all right, night.